Here's a bit of a change. The FBI now under surveillance, as just recently they were caught weeding out employees who either support Donald Trump, attended the January 6th rally, or expressed vaccine skepticism. There'll be no independent thought here. Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan asked the Justice Department chief watchdog to open a new investigation into whether the FBI has been using political litmus tests to push out workers or agents who do not share the preferred political views, and probably pronouns too. Last month, Just the News broke the story about the top secret security clearance review of the employee whose clearance was revoked after the FBI asked their political preferences. Host of Just the News joins me now, John Solomon. Good to have you on the program. I mean,
yeah,
you have to fill out a form. If you are a supporter of any conservatives, or is it just Donald Trump? Or if you're a libertarian, are you out for that? What's the litmus test, John?
Yeah, well, at least in the case of this one employee, in writing, that's the important thing. We have the actual documents. We made them public thanks to our friends at the Empower Oversight Whistleblower Center. You can see there were 3 questions that were asked of this employee's witnesses. 1, did he vocalize support for Donald Trump? 2, did he have reservations about the COVID vaccine, a personal medical decision? And 3, did he attend a Second Amendment rally? Those are 3 extraordinarily protected First Amendment opinions that have nothing to do with making the FBI more or less secure. But they were asked. And then after they were answered, yes, he supported Trump. Yes, he had hesitancy about the vaccine. And yes, he attended a Second Amendment rally. His security clearance was revoked, and the man went without pay for an extended period of time. Now, let's flip it around and do it for Democrats. What if tomorrow an FBI agent lost his security clearance because he said he supported Joe Biden and he supported his wife having an abortion? Very similar questions, but on the other side of this, Democrats would be losing their mind. The ACLU would be running into the courtroom on an emergency order. There's no difference between these questions other than the intent of what they're trying to root out. And I think for most Americans, they understand today why Jim Jordan asked for this investigation. This is not what the FBI should be doing.
So any sense, John, on how deep and wide this runs? Obviously, you have this employee, you have the smoking gun, you have the receipts, as they say. But if it's here, my guess is it's elsewhere. What's your sense? How deep, how far, how wide, how many employees have been impacted in this way?
I think we're going to find out that this isn't an isolated incident. When you look at the letter that the Empower Oversight Whistleblower Center sent that kind of triggered our original reporting, they say they have other witnesses that want to come forward. And I believe some of those witnesses may actually be in the security division, meaning the people that were doing the background checks. There is a recent settlement of a different whistleblower case, not the one we're talking about, but Marcus Allen, an intelligence analyst who was deprived his pay and his security clearance for 27 months, suddenly got restored to full pay and back pay, and his security clearance returned because the FBI acknowledged what they did to him was inappropriate. His sin was just inquiring because he found something that suggests that maybe the director of the FBI had made a technical mistake in his testimony, and maybe it should be corrected. And for that, he lost 27 months of pay. He did nothing wrong. The FBI acknowledges that now. They gave him back his money. But what is driving this? And I think that there are some questions about who is setting the policy and what is security in this era of cancel culture. I think Jim Jordan's letter says it best. It feels like the FBI had questions to drive conservatives out of its ranks.
Well, a lot of people sit here and they'll hear this story, John, and I'm hearing it, and you explain it. And I just look at one example after another of this administration being lawless, unconstitutional, whether it's the forgiveness of student loans, amnesty by executive order, allowing the border to remain open, defying the Supreme Court on student loans, for example, not caring if they get Congress involved when it comes to the border or amnesty. This is an administration that has come to the conclusion that Congress can't stop us. The Supreme Court can't stop us. We will do as we please. And if that means rooting out people we don't like from their jobs for 27 months without pay, then we're going to do it. That's the way it feels to a lot of us, John.
I think there's an adequate amount of evidence to support those feelings. And I think there's another element here. Even if Joe Biden doesn't give the order, Merrick Garland didn't give the order for these things to do, there is a large group of people in the permanent bureaucracy of the government that think this is okay. Just imagine how comfortable the security division had to feel to put these things down on paper and not say, oh my God, that looks terrible, I shouldn't be doing that. They actually felt comfortable. And that means there's a bureaucratic culture now that believes cancel culture and rejecting conservatism, or seeing a Trump supporter, a gun supporter, or a vaccine critic as a potential threat to security. We've lost our minds in some of these agencies. I think that's what a lot of people see. It's not just the political leadership of the Biden administration. There's a whole culture of a permanent bureaucracy that reinforces and extends those weaponization. I think that's what Jim Jordan's trying to get at.
You know, it might be worse than the way you just put it, John. It might be beyond the fact that they didn't worry about it. Maybe it didn't even occur to them that writing it down mattered, because they feel so insulated, so distanced from any repercussions, any consequences. You know, we'll do what we want because we've been doing it for a while. And this, to me, is the concern, that this is a pattern that we're now peeling back the onion, if you will. And here's a pattern of behavior that could go back potentially years.
I think you're right, Steve. And you and I have had this conversation a couple of years ago. No one got punished for Russia collusion, lying to the courts, making up a story, fooling the American public. It makes the incentive to do it again much higher. And I think maybe we've created a culture where those people didn't even think what they were doing would look bad.
And the last thing is this: whistleblowers. On one side, they say, oh, we've got to believe the whistleblowers. But when whistleblowers come from the other side and say, well, we've got the administration doing this, this, and this. Oh, yeah, we shouldn't believe these people. There's a double standard on whistleblowers as much as there's a double standard in the courtrooms in many places in America these days. I'll give you the last word on that, because whistleblowers, well, we're supposed to believe them according to the left, unless they're pointing at the left.
I think you're right. I think you've caught the hypocrisy of the elitists in Washington and elitists in media and in big tech. They apply one standard to their whistleblowers and a different one to the others. But whistleblowers play an essential role in our government. We wouldn't know half the things that occurred the last few years were it not for whistleblowers, and attacking them, smearing them, taking their livelihood away just to settle a political score is really un-American.
It is really un-American. John Solomon, you can find his work at justthenews.com. You can find him here 6 o'clock every night. Just the News, not noise, here on Real America's Voice. John, as always, I tip my hat to you, my friend. Nice work.
Thank you. Great to be on your show. Thanks, Steve.